Hi, it's Savannah with Pilates Studio, and today we have a 30-minute strength-focused mat workout. So we're gonna start on our back. I have two 10 pounds. Feel free to do 1 10, 2 5s, whatever feels best to you today. We'll lay on down. I'm just gonna set my weights off to my right side for a moment. And then we will lay on down. And we'll just start with a few deep breaths here. So hands can either find the sides of the rib cage, by your side. Feet could be planted or legs could be out long, whatever feels comfortable. We'll take a deep inhale in through the nose, filling up through the front, sides, back of the rib cage. That's why I like to have my hands on my rib cage, so I can really feel that expansion. Exhaling out, feeling that rib cage glide and knit back in. Feeling that pelvic floor rise. Let's go 2 more breaths here, in through the nose. Exhaling out. Feel everything coming towards that center of that midline, from our hip points towards that belly button, from that rib cage in, almost like you're making an X across the body. 1 more deep breath in. Exhaling out. Palms will go down by our side, widening through that chest and collarbone. Feet should be about hips width apart. And we're gonna find a few articulations into our bridge. Take your inhale. Exhale as you rock the pelvis back. Peel up 1 vertebrae at a time into your bridge. Pause at the top for that tail tuck under, squeezing through both glutes. Sip of air. Exhale as you roll back down, upper back, mid back, low back. Untuck the tailbone at the bottom. Inhale, exhale as you find that roll up. Think low back, mid back, upper back. Let's really press into the palms, widening through that chest and collarbone. Feel the back of the arms start to heat up as you press the palms down. Exhale as you roll back down. 2 more like that. Inhale at the bottom, exhaling to lift. Pausing at the top, inhale. Exhale back down. Find your last one. Let's hold at the top on this last one. We'll find a full hinge now. So you'll hinge through the hips, tap the tailbone straight down towards your mat. Exhale as you squeeze the glutes and lift the hips. That hip point should be moving together in a nice long line. Inhale down. Exhale lift. Maybe we reach the arms up towards the ceiling this time, challenging that balance a little bit. Gaze is straight up towards that ceiling. I'm finding that nice energy and length out through the knees. Think that long line from your shoulder out through those knees on the way up. Let's go 3 more. 2. Last one, hold at the top, slowly lower all the way back down. We can find a gentle tick-tock of those knees from side to side. Feeling a nice release through the back, through the hips. I'll bring my fingertips behind the head. My knees, or feet rather, will stay planted, knees stay bent. Elbows are nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale as you start to tuck that chin softly in towards the chest, peeling up through head, neck, and shoulders. Gaze should look over those knees. Inhale as you lower back down. We want to keep a little space between that chin and the chest, almost like there's a little lemon there. You're just letting that head rest heavy into the hands, so we're not straining the back of the neck. And you should feel those ribs gliding down towards the hips. We're starting to feel those upper abs engage. 3 more. Last 2. Last one. lowering down. Start to float the legs to tabletop. I'm gonna keep my fingertips behind the head, but at any point, if you wanna keep your palms pressing down by your side and keep head, neck, and shoulders down, feel free to find that option. Otherwise, we bring the fingertips behind the head, we peel up through head, neck, and shoulders. You should be in a neutral spine and pelvis, so tailbone's heavy. You just have a small gap between your back and that mat. Inhale, exhale, right leg extends to 45. Inhale back in, left leg extends. Inhale in, focus on maintaining your neutral spine and pelvis through this. If you feel any low back tension, I want you to shoot the legs up higher towards where the wall and ceiling meets. If you're feeling good in that neutral spine and pelvis, maybe you just go a little bit lower. That's gonna give you more of your challenge. Let's go one more time to the right. Exhale out. One more time to the left. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Nice little rock. Okay, we should be feeling pretty warm. We're gonna add our weights on this time. So I'm gonna grab for my weights. I have 1 10-pound into each hand. Let's roll on down. Elbows will be in by my rib cage. Again, I'm just in that neutral spine and pelvis. Inhale, exhale, we're just gonna find a little warm up. Exhale, press the weights up towards the ceiling. Inhale as I lower the elbows back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. You should still feel your core nice and active as you exhale and reach the weights up towards the ceiling. You're still thinking about knitting that rib cage in. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. 3 more here, then we swing our elbows out wide. We're gonna add our bridge back into this in 2. Good, last 1. Lower down. Elbows go nice and wide. Feet should be about that hips width apart, so elbows are wide. Inhale, exhale, you press into your bridge. You press the weights up towards the ceiling. Inhale, tap the tailbone down, elbows go nice and wide. Think chest press. Exhale to press. Inhale to lower. Good, you're feeling that chest start to warm up this time. We're starting to feel that glute engagement again. Three more here, then we hold the weights up. We hold the hips up. Into. Hold the weights up on your next one. Pause here. I'm gonna flip my palms back in towards midline. We're gonna hold. You find pulses now. Down an inch, up an inch. Option to add the arms in. Down an inch, up an inch with those glutes. Everything lowers a few inches, everything lifts. Little pulse down, little lift. Three more. Last 2. Ooh, my arms are burning already. Last one, hold it up, pause. Weights just stay reaching up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades are strong in the socket. Shift your weight into your left foot. Right leg floats to tabletop. Inhale, tap it down, plant the right foot, shift your weight. Left leg lifts, finding alternating marches. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. It's really important to shift your weight first before you lift your leg to tabletop. That's gonna help us keep those hip points nice and still. Feeling those low abs activate to help you lift your leg to tabletop. Now, we have those 10 pounds. This might feel a little heavy, but option to add your tricep work on. You bend through both elbows. As you lift your leg to tabletop, you reach the weights back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift your leg to tabletop, reach the weights up. Be mindful of those weights. If it feels too heavy, go down to 5s or just 110. So you can always hold that weight into both hands. Think skull crusher. One more time to the right. One more time to the left. Plant that left foot, slowly roll down. Whew. All right, drop your weights for a moment. Again, if you need a little tick-tock of those knees from side to side, feel free to find that. We have one more layer on our back with our weights. Always an option for 110 rather than 2 here. I'm gonna go back to 110 for this, for our core work. Reach the weight up towards the ceiling. Legs start to float to tabletop. I peel up through head, neck, and shoulders and hold here. Right leg extends to 45. I'm gonna send my arms back behind my head. Everything comes back in. Left leg extends, arm extends. Draw it back in. Exhale as you extend everything away from midline. Option to stay there, or we go both legs, both arms, everything extends, everything comes in. You could always lower as you extend the arms, then maybe you find that deeper upper ab curl on the way up. Three more here. Whew. Last two. Last one. Nice work, hug everything in, good job. All right, we'll roll our way up to seated. So however you want to get there, I'll just do a little rock and roll up. Let's reset all of our weights to the top of our mat. Let's come to an all fours. And we'll find a little down dog here. So plant the hands down, knees underneath those hips. Drop the belly, lift the gaze on your inhale. Exhale as you tuck the chin in towards the chest and round through the spine, pressing the back towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Maybe you find a few little rocks from side to side. Exhale as you tuck the chin in towards the chest and round through the spine. Okay, we're gonna grab for those weights again. You don't have to have both under your hands here. We're gonna take our weights, one under each hand. Now, I like to have one under each hand because I think it takes a little pressure off my wrist, so I like the feeling better of my hand being down on the mat, but we really only need one weight under the right hand. So if you don't like that feeling of the weight under your hand, just remove the left one. We only need one under that right hand, okay? Knees underneath the hips. We're just gonna start with a row. Inhale, exhale, you find a row, rowing that right elbow past the rib cage. Inhale, back down. Exhale, row. Inhale to leave. Release. Right away, I want you to feel those obliques turning on, keeping those hip points nice and even again. Exhale, row. Inhale, release. You're feeling your right shoulder blade hugging in towards the spine. Let's release the row for a moment. Let's send our left leg long and hold. Now, as you row, you lift the left leg up. Everything lowers down towards the mat. Exhale, row and lift. Inhale to lower. Notice how my hip points are still staying nice and even. Obliques are still firing. You want to feel your stability coming from your left shoulder across the body towards that right hip, almost like you're wearing a seatbelt. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. My gaze is straight down. I feel that nice length through the back of the neck. Whew. 3 more. You have a soft bend through that left elbow. Next one, I hold it up, pause here. Good, we find little pulses, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Like that back of the arm is going up towards the ceiling. Ooh, my balance is a little off today. Let's go 3. Last 2. Last 1. Plant everything down. Right away, I grab for both of my weights. I come up to a high kneel. Okay, weights come by my shoulders. We take our inhale, we find our hinge down. Exhale, lift, we reach the weights up towards the ceiling. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Maybe we find our curl down. Just be mindful those weights don't fully release down towards the mat. We're feeling our glutes and quads heating back up. My gaze is traveling with me, but I still have that length through the back of the neck. So we're not here tucking that chin in towards the chest. You're finding that length. Use that breath. Exhale up. These are hard. Let's go 3 more. Last 2. You got it, last one. Hold at the top. We just release our curl down, curl. Inhale down slow. Let me turn to face towards y'all. Exhale as you curl. Rib cage is knit in. So we're not flailing through that rib cage and arching through the back, right? We're here. Hello, biceps. Let's go. 3 more. Slow on that release. 2. Whew. Last one. Nice work. Go ahead and lower back down towards that top of the mat. Little shake out through those wrists. Roll through those shoulders if you need. All right, let's find our bird dog to the other side. Again, I like weights under both hands, but you really only need one under the left hand. Inhale, exhale, you find your row to start. Inhale down. Exhale, row. Inhale to release. Soften through that right elbow, just so we're not hyperextended. So if you have any of that hypermobility, just be mindful when you're on that all fours. 3 more, then we add that right leg in. 2. 1, you can rest for a moment, send the right leg long. Lower that right hip point down. So my right hip was hiking up. Can I square it down so it's in line with the left? Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Again, notice here how my back is staying still. So I'm not feeling this coming from my low back. I'm feeling this from the glute and through the hamstring to lift my leg. Everything else stays still. Really try to focus on that low back, staying as still as you can. Almost like if I put a cup of coffee on your back, it wouldn't spill. 3 more. Stability this time is coming from my right shoulder, across the body towards my left hip. Here we go, we hold it. You find a little pulse, down an inch, up an inch. Breathe down, exhale out. Whew. 3, last 2. Last one, lowering everything down. You can sit the hips back. Find a nice child's pose, arms go nice and long. Let's take one more deep breath into the back, in through the nose, fill into the back. Exhaling out. All right, y'all are not gonna like me where we're going next. All right, we'll tuck the toes under. We're gonna find that all fours again. For this one, you do need both of those weights under both hands, okay? It'll make sense in a moment. Inhale, exhale. We're just gonna engage through that core again. Low abs are firing, you lift the knees. Inhale, tap the knees down. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lower. Whew. I wish I wore a bun today. My hair is getting in the way. Feel those low abs to scoop you up. Light tap down. 3. Last 2. Last 1. All right, let's add on to that. Always an option to stay at your bear hover if that feels better. Okay, we're gonna walk the knees back, hips lower slightly. You're in modified plank here. If it helps, you can widen up your base a little bit, okay? Inhale, exhale, we find our row with that right arm. Inhale, lower, left arm row. Release. I'm gonna do one more to each side, then I'm gonna come up to my high plank. Option to stay at modified, or you find your high plank through here. It helps if you have that wide base with the feet, so widen up so the hips can stay as still as possible. Exhale, row. Inhale to release. So if you feel those hips shifting, maybe go back to modified plank or widen up that base. Try to keep those hips even. Woo, these are tough. Control the weight on the way down. I shouldn't hear you drop those weights. One more to each side, right? One more to that left. Stay in your plank, hold here. For 3, you pike the hips up, in 2. Last one, pike those hips up. Woo! Nice work. Find your down dog, pedal it out. You could always do that with hands as well. If those weights don't feel good at any point, or body weight rather. Walk the feet up towards the hands. Let's hang heavy for a moment. Slow down that heart rate. And then slowly we come up to stand. Whew. All right, so we're at some standing work. We're gonna find a few squats without our weights just to warm up through that lower body again. Feet are hips width apart. Hands find heart center on the way down. Exhale, lift, I press my palms back. Use this as a time to catch your breath again after that plank. We're gonna have one more of those planks for the day. So again, if those 10 pounds didn't feel good, feel free to just do hands. You could do shoulder or hand tops to opposite shoulder, or you could still do that rowing motion. Feel those glutes engaging again. Quads are warming up. Let's go for 3, 2. Hold it low, pause here. Lift both heels up, lower both heels down. Can you try to stay low? Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Whew, you got this. Let's go 3 more, slow on that lower. My quads are burning, 2. Last one, plant the heels, press all the way up. Nice work. Let's grab for both of our weights again. So be careful grabbing them. Use those glutes and quads, not just the back, okay? Right foot will be forward, your left foot will be back. So we're in a little bit of a split lunge. Then I want you to keep that back leg nice and long. Find your hinge forward. The knee should be over the ankle. Your left heel should be lifted, so more weight forward. Wide through that chest and collarbone, you're keeping the upper back engaged. We're gonna find our row again. Inhale, exhale, you row. Inhale to release, exhale, row. Inhale, release. Feel those shoulder blades gliding towards each other. Slow these down, use our breath. Don't focus on speed here. Focus on that strength. Slow on our release. That's where we find some extra work. 3 more, then we add on to this. In 2, we add our back leg. You row, you tap the left toes forward. Woo, baby. All that heat on that right leg. Exhale, row and tap. Inhale to release. I'm already shaking. Woo. Press into your right big toe mound. That helps with our balance. 3 more, we add on, and 2. Last one, send everything long. You stand all the way up, you find your curl, you find your press at the top. Lower back down, release, hold at the bottom, row and tap, release, curl, stand all the way up, overhead press. Option on your next one for your left knee to float all the way up to 90. On your curl and press, finding that balance. Again, focus on your control over speed. Control and balance and that strength over our speed today. Curl, press, down, release, row and tap. Nice work, looks great. 3 more. Not done yet. 2. Right glute and quad should be burning. Find one more row and tap. We meet at the top of our lunge. Knee to 90, we press it out for a 5. Release all the way down with our curl. Forgot to add that. 4. 3, inhale down. Exhale, curl. 2 more, you got it. Last one. Woo! Shake it out. Nice work. Whew. All right, we're gonna get out of the legs for a little bit. We have our last bit of arm work. We'll do our leg work on the other side, and we will make our way down onto our mat. Elbows go nice and wide. We find our press with the elbows wide this time, like we did in our bridge. Exhale to press. Inhale to lower. 5 more. Woo, these are tough. Get out of the neck. 4. Release tension through the tops of the shoulders. 3, 2, last one. Oh my gosh, okay. Whew, let's drop our weights for a moment. Let's just shake it out, take a few shoulder rolls. Whew. I'm regretting those with the elbows wide. All right, we have our last lunge to the other side. We'll have one more plank and then we are done. Let's grab our weights. Let's set up, left foot forward. Goes quick with 30 minutes, right foot back. Okay, we start with our row, exhale, row. Inhale, release. Your right leg's long, the heel should be lifted. Left knee is stacked over the ankle, tracking over second and third toes. Row and tap when you're ready. Right leg taps as you row. Release. Row and tap. Release. Length through the back of the neck still. You have your long line from your tailbone out through the crown of the head. So my gaze is slightly down and out, almost like I'm looking over a cliff. Ready to add it all together. Here we go. Right leg goes long. Release the weights. You stand all the way up. Curl. Press. Down. Row and tap. Release, curl to press. Lower down, row and tap. Release, can we add that knee drive? Right knee all the way up to 90 as you press. If that doesn't feel good, keep that right toes down as you lift. Focus on your balance. Control, slow down our breathing, slow down our heart rate through this. It's easy to want to speed it up. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Exhale, row and tap. Inhale, release. Exhale to stand. Inhale down. 3 more like that. Left glute and quad should be burning. Then we hold in 2. Stay low. Whew. Hold it at the top on this next one. Release our curl to press. 5. Last 4, find your balance. Press into that left big toe mound. 3, you got it, almost there. 2, whoo, last one. Nice work, plant everything down. Lower those weights carefully at the top of your mat. Catch your breath, we have our last bit of work. We have that last plank and row. Take full plank, take modified, 5 pounds, no pounds, whatever feels best to you, or finish it out with our 10 pounds. We have 5 rows to each side, 10 total. You can do it, then we are done. Hands find those weights. Legs go long, widen up your base. 1, right to left, 2, 4, 5, slow on that release. 6, 7, woo, 2 more. 9, last one, 10. Woo, plant the knees, sit the hips back, you made it. You're all done, deep breath in. Exhale out. Arms can stay long, or maybe those palms come down by your side. And you release the forehead down. Let the neck release. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Let's come up to all fours. It's fine to thread the needle. Right arm reaches up towards the right. Thread the needle down. I'm gonna hold here for a moment. Press my way up. Right arm opens. Lower down. One more open. Hand lower. Right hand plants, left arm opens and lowers. that nice spinal twist. One more, open. Lower down. And then let's take our final child's pose. Let the knees go wide. 2 deep breaths here in through the nose. Exhale out. Last one, breath in. Exhale out. You are all done. Thanks for joining me. I will see you guys next time.